I'll just ask maybe a question directed to Mr. Mutasa. When you were starting the meeting, you sort of refused to identify the road called Robert Mugabe. Is it out of anger or what?
What would I be angry with? The road is Robert Mugabe, but I have always referred to it as Manika Road because it goes to Manika land. That's all. There's really nothing. I have nothing to be angry with Mugabe. In fact, I like him very much. As a matter of fact, we are asking for permission to go and see him. You don't see somebody that you don't like. No. I've always referred to him as father. So that sticks, that stays.
Do you share that idea?
Well, we believe that there are laws in this country which need to be obeyed. And sometimes the most important institution that makes everybody to obey the laws of this country are the courts. And it doesn't matter whether it's a junior court or a very senior court. And we want to exhaust that process.
And it is also constitutional court. It's actually exhaust all the when things go beyond that, we'll always return to other forms of action. But for the time being, we want to ensure that we pursue the non-violent demonstrations. And so far, so good. Although we don't know if we apply to the police for the permission, they say no. The flight we've been getting, they go ahead to the right, so we pursue. And then demonstrations have been banned, and the courts have been approved of those demonstrations. I think it's a picture on this one, so we pursue. But when the route is completely closed,
and in any case, I think what we also need to clarify is the fact that we do not necessarily apply for permission from the police, for they have no such powers. In fact, what the Constitution requires us to do, the Criminal Codification Act, requires us to notify the police. And so all the time, we simply notify the police that we intend to have a demonstration. But half the time, they come back to us and say, you can't have it, which they have no powers to. And it is in that circumstance, in those circumstances, that we then proceed to go to court and eventually we get a court order.
It's very historical. So very well. It went very well. Quite a historical.
Yes,
it was quite a very successful.
I think where you have, people of this caliber sitting under one roof, debating on one issue, you're bound to have people coming in with different ideas and suggestions on how things should be carried out. But I think ultimately, I'm very happy with the outcome. We came to a point of convergence, and I think we really exhausted every possible angle concerning the issue of the demonstration on Friday and the possibility of working together in future.
There is a school of thought that there is no need.
Is this going to people have just been talking about that's it.
how it will be conducted, whether ZEC itself feels it is as independent as the Constitution requires it to be. Some of us think that it isn't that independent. They are still under the Ministry of Justice, and what they do is yes done by the minister through Justice Makarao, who holds two positions.
In the absence of this?
We have, but permission hasn't been granted yet. And you know how difficult it is to get permission from those in authority. Sometimes you don't get it until they are forced by the courts to grant you permission. So we are quite ready.
And if they refuse?
Well, they are in authority. If they refuse, they refuse.
What will you do?
We go to the courts.
How many political parties were represented here, and were they all in agreement with this course?
The political parties in NERA are 13. I'm not quite sure of the other political parties, those that fall within code. I'm not sure who they are. I gather there are 5.
So are you all in agreement with this cause for the 26th?
Yes, indeed. Isn't that what we say? I think that is what I say, that we are in agreement, but we work here as NERA inviting everybody, including you, to come to that demonstration. And then after the demonstration, we will work out the way forward for all political parties to do one thing.
Apart from the independence of ZEC, what else are you petitioning the electoral board?
You spoke about Ms. Makarao's 2 positions, and so your position is you either wanted to relinquish one of the positions?
That is what we hope she would do without being coerced. She's quite an odd adult. She's a lawyer for that matter. And we don't have to tell her what is right and constitutional in this country, or is required by the Constitution, the draft Constitution, the one that we are working under.
Yes, this time around, uniting for a cause, maybe to demonstrate or march against the reforms which are yet to take place, and you want to enforce those reforms to take place. Can we say, maybe tell the Zimbabweans that maybe this could be the beginning of a brighter future for NERA and CODE as well, maybe for a coalition in due course?
Please do so. I mean, those are your words, and they are very good.
What could be hindering that process?
There's nothing hindering, except people's minds which are closed. People who do not see that in numbers there is strength, and that in unity there is strength. And that's very appropriate.
Still working on those modalities.
Sorry. I think the general consensus among the political party principals was that this is what the people of Zimbabwe wants. It's not about the political leaders' egos. It's about what is right for Zimbabwe. So it was generally suggested that after the 26th of August, a date will be set again to start the process. this is the beginning of a relationship.
How would you describe
in future? We are quite agreeable in wanting to meet as a group, one single force which will control the opposition activities in this country. I wish to thank you. The purpose of the demonstration, I think, is clear to you, is electoral reforms aimed primarily at the ZEC organization, its chairmanship, and those who work for it. We feel that they should be more independent than they are at the moment. They are not quite independent. Questions?
Mr. Mutasa, have you